Serious. So much drama for a finale. And bringing back all of those eliminated queens to up the drama was just a cheap shot of you at. Oh hey, hi, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 5, the finale, and all I have to say is, Jorge, drink it! What was that? You opened a beer? A beer is for the finale, this is the drink? Oh, alright. Okay. Because it's a special occasion, we're going to have a depth charge. Now, if you have no idea what that is, please go to my playlists and find the Wilma Drinks playlist and find the depth charge there, and it'll explain everything. Mostly, it's just a shot in a beer, except this is the classic way of drinking a shot in a beer. You drop it in it's disgusting. It's beer and whiskey. But this is how we do it at the Fingerdoo review. Okay, 1, 2, 3, depth charge. Ooh, splashy. Oh my goodness. Whiskey-y and beery all at the same time. Okay, so let's get to it. We started this episode off with the 3 top queens returning to the workroom, exhausted but relieved. And of course, none more relieved than Shea Coulee, because she was just one more challenge away from the crown. Seriously. But that didn't stop any of the queens from wondering, who was it that called Ru from the runway? They didn't know, but they all agreed it couldn't be good. So the queens decided to see who had voted for who. Juju had predicted that her name would be in the box, and she wasn't wrong. I'm so serious. I'm just wondering how badly she felt now for voting out Blair. Just saying. Something Juju was feeling was a sense of deja vu. She'd been to the finale before, twice in fact, and having the least amount of wins amongst the top 3 this time wasn't filling her with confidence. So she started a pillow fight, like you do. The next day in the workroom, the eliminated queen snuck in and hid behind a big old glory hole, which I have to say is the worst place to hide, because the minute anyone sees a glory hole, they always look into it. Maybe that's what they were hoping for. So, true to form, when the top 3 entered the workroom, they noticed the great big gaping maw. Gaping Maw used to be my drag queen name in high school. Not to be distracted, the top 3 queens read Blair's lipstick message, which was daddy rich, and had them all doing her signature shimmy shush. Then, much to the delight of the hidden eliminated queens, the top 3 started blowing smoke up each other's butts. This was the top 3 I had envisioned. Blair was such a hard worker. It was sad to see such strong queens like Mariah go. Well, this was far too much for Miss Balenciaga, aka Hold My Earrings So I Can Fight a Queen, and the rest of the eliminated cast, because they blew their cover, which was appropriate because they were hiding in a glory hole. See what I did there? You could see that this was slightly awkward, because even though everyone seemed genuinely pleased to see each other, you could tell that the top queens were all thinking, oh no, she better don't. Seriously. Thank God Ru showed up to shed some light on the situation. Not only were the eliminated queens back to help the other queens in the final challenge, but they were also there because there were things left unsaid, aka India and Alexis. As for the finale challenge, the queens had to write and perform a verse to Ru's song Clap Back, with choreography from Todrick Hall. Sexy. And they were going to appear on RuPaul's podcast, What's the Tea? With Michelle Visage. All in all, very busy day. Good thing they had some help. Or was it? So the queens wasted no time and got right down to saying what was left unsaid. India apologized to Derek for, well, being toxic online. Mariah made fun of India's eggplant romper, which was a good thing because I know I was thinking it, just saying. And Derek called out on Gina for quitting when other queens who wanted to be there had been sent home, aka mostly him. Mariah also called out Mayhem for quitting because at the end of the day, Mariah could have stayed. Plus, Mayhem had sacrificed herself for India, a queen she just met. Mariah wasn't having it. And then it was time for the big question. Did India tell the truth? The short answer, no. At best, she blew an innocently asked question after voting out of proportion so that it looked like a conspiracy theory. At worst, she out and out lied to save herself. And as happy as Alexis was to see India proven wrong, and as shocked as everyone else was to hear it, the bigger shock was that the only alliance this whole season was between Mayhem and India. This was news that Derek could really relish in. Either way, Shea was willing to forgive and forget because none of the plots really amounted to much anyway. As for India, well, the damage was done. The next day, the top three met with Todrick Hall for their choreography, and, as expected, it was complicated. Todrick Hall's choreography is always complicated, but this is the finale. Seriously. The only queen who seemed to have any sense of what was going on was Shea Coulee, while poor Juju was just filled with questions. Mostly, what were her feet supposed to be doing? Todrick pointed out to Cracker that she was a beat behind everyone else, but in Cracker's defense, she warned him she would be. While all this was going on, poor, sad, eliminated Blair St. Clair sat on the sidelines and learned everyone's choreography, just in case there was an accident backstage with somebody slipping on some beads or something. Shea Coulee clearly got the most complicated choreography of the group, much to Cracker's delight, but Shea is the best dancer of the bunch, so how could Todrick Hall help himself? I'm so serious. Shea, for her part, on the outside, was looking calm and collected, but on the inside, she was starting to sweat. Then it was tea time, as in RuPaul's podcast, What's the Tea with Michelle Visage. Juju was first, and she shared that writing lyrics had become her new drinking since being sober. She also said she was excited to see where drag was going and hoped that we would see more of it in film, fashion, and music. Because you can never have enough. Cracker was next, and she shared how she felt that drag was bringing people together in this political climate of hurt people, while Michelle and Ru shared how they felt that Cracker thinks too much. Just saying. Last but not least was Shea Coulee, who shared how she is learning to get over the pressure she imposed on herself for winning season 9, and how happy she is that in therapy she's been able to name her inner saboteur. She's called Shanae. And then it was elimination day, and the queens were feeling it. All of a sudden, Juju was very aware that they all had a 1 in 3 chance of winning. Or a 1 in 66.66 chance of not winning at all. That's when the eliminated queens showed up and everyone got ready for the runway. Well, almost everyone. Poor Cracker. She seemed to be having a lot of trouble just even rustling up the energy to get ready, while Juju seemed to be worrying about her dancing skills. So she should. Shea Coulee wasn't immune to the nerves working their way around that workroom either. The idea that she had one chance to get it right was working on her last nerves. Oddly enough, Alexis helped her through the worst of it. Go figure. And then it was time to hit the runway, and it looked like RuPaul saved the mediocre for last. I didn't hate this dress. I just didn't love it. The colors were okay, but meh. And of course, joining Ru at the judges' table were Michelle Visage, Ross Matthews, Carson Kressley, and the delicious Todrick Hall. Up first, clap back. This was quite the production. Juju looked good and her lyrics were great, but there was something about the way she was holding her face that made it look like she was counting her steps as she was doing them. Probably because she was. Cracker looked fantastic. Her lyrics were fun and she seemed to have less going on in her head. Sorry about it, Juju. Shea Coulee was stunning. Any worries she had about that choreography were nowhere to be seen during her performance. Plus, she looked fantastic. All in all, it was a great performance by all the queens, but if I had to pick a winner based on that performance, I would have to go with Shea Coulee. Come on, she did a cartwheel from one guy's head to another guy's head. If that doesn't deserve a crown, what are we all doing this for? And then it was time for the runway, and as nice as it was for the production to have the eliminated queens walk the runway, I was over it. No offense to the eliminated queens, I just wanted them to get to it. Seriously. And then they did. Up first, Juju wore a golden Buddha-inspired fantasy, and as nice as the outfit was, and don't get me wrong, it was stunning, I wasn't as impressed with it as I wanted to be. I wish she'd worn a gown. Cracker was next, and I hated this pink pearl situation. No offense to her or her heritage, and I really do understand where she was coming from, but that headpiece, there were complaints. And then I totally forgot that Cracker and Juju were even in the contest because Shea Coulee came down the runway in that stunning 1960s Balenciaga realness. The exaggerated beehive, the bow on top, the extreme A-line on that swing dress. Heaven! And then it was time for the judges' critiques. Everyone loved Juju's runway, but as far as her performance in clapback was concerned, they felt she got tripped up or lost in the choreography. And it showed. Cracker was next, and the judges thought her performance was brilliant, and they have enjoyed her growth throughout the whole season, and that include her runway look, much to Cracker's relief. And then the judges moved on to Shea Coulee, who they could not say enough about. She was brilliant in the performance. They loved her outfits throughout the whole season, including this runway look, which Shea revealed was inspired by her mom's prom dress. I'm so serious. And with a tear-filled thank you to Ru for all the opportunities she's created for all the drag queens around the world, it was off to the Untucked Lounge to get ready for the final lip sync. So when the judges were done deliberating, the top 3 queens returned to the runway where they were greeted by a video message from Monet Exchange and Trinity the Tuck, co-winners of All-Stars Seasons 4, letting them know that they were getting the Hall of Fame ready for whoever this year's winner would be. And that seemed to still be up in the air because all 3 queens were doing the final lip sync. I'm so serious. First off, can I just say how happy I was that the queens were lip syncing to a Janelle Monáe song? I just love her. But as for the lip sync, I would have to say my least favorite was Ms. Cracker. No offense to her, I thought she did a great job. It's just that her outfit was boring, even with the glitter she was hiding in the nipples. Seriously. Juju was sex on a stick that had melted off that stick and rolled around on the floor for a little while. And she knew every word of that song. She really did give Shea Coulee a run for the money. But Shea Coulee, on the other hand, with her outfit and her cute little dance moves that bounced her hair, well, she didn't make it easy for Juju either, I'm just saying. So when the music settled, it was no surprise to me that RuPaul announced that Shea Coulee was the winner of All-Stars Season 5. As well she should be, I'm so serious. Here's to Cracker and Juju for not making it easy for her, and here's to the rest of the cast and crew for giving us something so spectacular to watch. Seriously. Speaking of fabulous things to watch, you should also check out the live reaction video of Juju, Cracker, and Shea watching the finale on TV as it aired. It's fabulous. So, what did you think? Are you happy that Shea Coulee won? Would you have rather that Cracker won because she did win 3 challenges? What about Juju? Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Either way, I just have to say I love this season of All Stars. But sadly, we don't have a UK Drag Race coming down the pike. We do not have a season 13 of Drag Race in the can waiting to be edited, and that means that there will be no Untucked yet either. So the only thing we have to live for is Canada's Drag Race. And I'm okay with that. I'm so serious. Now, before you leave, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can tip me, join me on Patreon, or buy something from Redbubble. And all the links are in the description box down below. Until next week, miss me! Mwah! Seriously, Morgan. Oh, I'm gonna pick that charge. I won't lie.
yummy.